aspect where you have to.
And welcome back, folks, to the HSEL Nationals 2023 right here in Kansas City, Missouri. JT Displays and Big M here for you folks. Brawlhalla action continues down into the lower bracket where we have Zaziv, who we just saw on stage there, taking on Red Ninja 11.
Yeah, this is, like you said, the lower bracket half. So one of these players will be eliminated, in the Nationals no more. In this best of 5 set, everything is riding on the line as your tournament hopes and dreams. They come here, and they're going to battle it out.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle here. Certainly, both these guys saw a lot of success yesterday here, but now this is kind of the do or die. You kind of go or like get going or go going.
Yeah, it's get good or go home in this ride or die game here. So previously on Friday, when we had the round robin phase, Red Ninja 11 actually took the set between these two, in a surprising potential upset. I don't know. I mean, Red Ninja 11 ended up seeding higher at the end of the day, so he's for sure the favorite going into this match based on their prior experience. But Zaziv, he's kind of a wild card sometimes, and once he gets going, he's going. So.
Yeah, and certainly, they are absolutely feeling pretty relaxed there, it looks like, on stage here. It doesn't feel like the nerves are getting to him just yet, but this is, like you said, an elimination matchup, so one of these two does have to lose and is no longer in the tournament, so that is, that potential going into things here. You see, looking at Zaza there, again, trying to, lock in on his gameplay here. I think it's going to be, who's coming in with that better mentality. If you're on stage there, who do you think has that better mentality going in?
It's hard to say. I mean, for sure, Zaza's a younger competitor, so he hasn't been to, as many tournaments, or, this is one of the biggest lands he's been to since the spring final, obviously. And it's for sure going to be a little bit a toss-up. It's going to for sure be a toss-up, but when they get locked in, they're going to be locked in, and we'll see who comes out on top after that final match goes. So.
Well, I mean, clearly, I think that Red Ninja 11, he came in with that victory yesterday, so he's got that in his back pocket there. Meanwhile, it certainly looked like on stage that Zaziv expects to eat today, so we'll see if he's able to get things going earlier than he did against Printer earlier, because he was again, that was a pretty. He went toe-to-toe with Printer there and came out with a single map win, but that was it, just a single map win, and there wasn't any sort of character changing. He just was stuck with the Caspian there, and I think that, I don't know if that was a, do you think that was a mistake there?
It's tough to say. I mean, the Caspian is always a strong pick, so you can't really fault the player for it, and it's not like, there was any unfamiliarity. It's just kind of a matter of wills and for sure hindsight, because it feels like the pick doesn't work when you lose, but at the same time, you got to have that foresight, especially when you play multiple characters, to be able to be like, that was the right pick, I just didn't play up to par.
Well, we're going to find all of those answers and more as we get set to go underway here in the losers bracket. Lose and go home, win and survive a best of 5. Once again, it's going to be a strange one for sure. I don't know who's going to really have advantage. I would say if I had to pick one, it would probably be Red Ninja 11, just because he has right here yesterday was able to take out Zaziv and knock him down on those records. But again, those records don't matter anymore. It's all about, what matters right now. Your next performance has to be your best performance.
Yeah, it's who wins here today. So, yeah, it's possible that we do get the Caspian Ditto, but at the same time, I can see Zaziv pulling out the Artemis,
He was good with it.
Also, Red Ninja 11 has an Ember in his pocket, so he could also switch it up, not wanting to do the Ditto if Zaziv is, adamant on kind of picking Caspian throughout the entire day here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, the Guitars was one that they both seem very comfortable with there, and it's going to be a matter of, who's really this is the one match where I feel like I can't really pick a winner between the two, because it feels like they both struggled at times early on yesterday, and then both of them had some very handily one-sided victories there, given that they were able to beat out. So I think this is the one matchup where it feels like I don't know who's really got the stronger the strength right now.
Yeah, it could go either way, and that makes sense as as it is kind of chalked up right now. seeding would say that Red Ninja 11 is going to take it, but these two are the 3 and the 4, so they're a lot more closer than any of the other matchups here today. So
yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, it's just going to be one of those ones where I think that ultimately whoever is able to adapt more, I think that's the key here, is just adapting to your opponent and being able to you know, the mind games. You know, I think that's going to really start playing into it. It won't be in the first map, but maybe by the second or that third map. I think that third map is really where you're going to see the crux of this matchup here, and you're going to see the largest adaptations from both sides.
yes, yes, indeed. And adaptations, indeed, because especially in these 1v1 games, it's a lot of times, especially when you get to higher and higher levels of play, it's going to be playing the player, not really the opponent or whatever is on screen. You just got to figure out what your opponent wants and how to avoid that, and then what your opponent can't avoid and try to abuse that.
And they both have experience against each other, so they have a little bit of that familiarity that you're hoping to look for there. And so I think that's gonna, you know, aid both of them. So in a way, you know, both advantages kind of cancel each other out there. So it's really, we're back to carte blanche. So it doesn't matter what the history was between these two, because ultimately both of them are looking for that scholarship money there. You know, we know Zaz's record there. We know that he has that pedigree when he's on his best form there. He's on one, but it's going to be something that it's going to be, you know, can Red Ninja 11 overcome that? He was able to do so yesterday, but will he be able to do so today?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So we got these two almost ready to battle it out. Zasif on the Lucian, and Red Ninja 11 going to keep it with... Keep it with the... Oh, wait, we're going with a new pick here. With the spear and the gauntlets. Wow. I did not expect this out of Zasif, but obviously Red Ninja 11 going to keep it with the Caspian, though.
Yeah, certainly. So the Caspian, also known as the Diamond Head there, trying to get things going early here. Going with that comfort pick, that's what we want to see from there, because you know, when you're more comfortable, you are more likely to find success early on there. Whether he's able to translate that early success into a map or two remains to be seen, but certainly both of them trading blows, neither one gaining a acute advantage over the other.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the gameplay right now is toe-to-toe, hit for hit, tit for tat. These two players are both in the orange %, so, you know, stock ending blows are going to come here in a second. Oh, I love the positioning there by Zasif, but just misses on the signature there. All right, and then there goes the forward air into that, and there goes the GC downlights kind of swoop up and over, and there goes the ground pound, and Zasif kind of showing his stuff on the Wu Shang.
Yeah, the Wu Shang able to take out that first stock there. Good move by Zasif, able to gain that advantage when he needed it, and so certainly a better showing early on here than we saw against Printer, but right now, stock wiped out, Diamond Head taking out that Wu Shang.
Yes, indeed. So we're back on even stocks, even Stevens for sure. So once again, for those unfamiliar, we're on small Brawlhalla, one of the smallest glass of stages, you know, and it's one of the smallest actual stages in terms of stage real estate. So these two are looking to scrap, and you've seen it here. They just go blow for blow, tit for tat.
Yeah, really able to get into each other's faces here, and you like seeing that, you know, that as far as action, because it means these stocks are going to go quick and furiously here. So we'll see if they are able to take advantage of. I mean, it's one of the most common maps there, so certainly, you know, they both got a lot of familiarity with each other. But this is a Wu Shang that we haven't seen yet in this tournament here, and that might be causing some problems here for Red Ninja 11.
Yeah, these spear ground pounds are really taking the stock. So the ground pound for most weapons sends straight down in a spiking fashion, but the spear ground pound is very unique, as it has a larger hitbox. It just goes straight down. Instead of sending them straight down, it sends them to the sides there. Very, very powerful in that scenario.
Yeah, both just kind of biding their time, waiting for the other ones to make a mistake that they can capitalize on. Zasif engaged there, but a quick response there by Red Ninja 11 here. Zasif now in a little bit more spot to take father, but he also has a stock to play with here, so really he still has that advantage, even though he is in the red right now.
Yeah, I mean, interesting here. Zasif has really been going in on these gauntlets, but almost losing the stock here. Probably curtains if you can't reach it back with that dodge. And Red Ninja taking that stock in a good fashion here. We're back on ones.
And you see them always holding that that weapon throw there until their opponent fully comes back onto that stage there. A little bit of that gamesmanship, you know, trying to weapon guard there and put their opponent at a distinct disadvantage once they respawn.
Yes, indeed. And you see here, Zaza trying to catch those jumps with the downlight, but off the mark a couple of times here. So not going to get anything huge here. And that nair puts Red Ninja 11 in a good spot, but unable to guard the recovery. There goes the downlight, catching the jump. Oh, almost got that 6 connect, but not quite.
Woo! Nice little pop there with the spear. Almost able to get the there it is.
Player 2 wins.
Yeah, great recovery move from Zaza there, and able to pretty much avoid the confirm combo that Red Ninja 11 wanted to do, and just reversaled it with that recovery from the spear. So
yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what map they decide to go with here for match number 2 here in this best of 5. It's going to be an interesting one. Like, do you see any sort of changes coming from Red Ninja 11 or from Zaza?
Probably not. We're just going to run it back
3,
here.
2,
back on small
1,
Brawlhalla once
brawl.
again. Yeah, Red Ninja 11, he's kind of sticking to his guns here today, and I do like that gumption as we're here on Finals Saturday.
Yeah, and it is nice to see because I think, yeah, game 2, you know, you want to kind of like stick with the same ones you have there. I think game 3 is really ill. If things aren't going your way, you got to make some sort of change because at this point, you know, your opponent has you red if Red Ninja 11 is beaten in the second map.
Indeed, here these two kind of dancing around on small Brawlhalla. There are no platforms kind of utilized, just a stage. So Zaza really utilizing it as much as he can by sticking onto the wall there and then attacking when he has the opportunity. But those down airs into the ground pound. Red Ninja 11 seems to have found an opportunity here to take a stock. But the reversal here from Zaza, we're going unarmed as the weapon toss leaves him vulnerable to that side sig. Good stuff from Red Ninja to put himself in the lead.
Yeah, and one thing about this small Brawlhalla here is that it does have one of those the longest walls on the side there, so it is something that they do kind of utilize to their advantage here, since they don't have those extra platforms above them to really take care of the verticality space.
Here we go. Oh, wow. You saw Red Ninja there dive down with that ground pound, but not going to come up empty as Zaza tries to find a stock here. Ooh, there goes that in-light gravity cancel to boot into that ground pound, sending the stock home. We're back here with 2-2 stocks.
Yeah, I really like those gauntlets there. Able to put some good damage down. Now we have gauntlet on gauntlet action here. It's going to be a mirror match of sorts here to see who can gain the tactical advantage, as both of them just kind of jockeying for position. Now able to put in some damage there is Red Ninja 11 getting into a groove now as this matchup heats up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying this Wu-Shang pick from Zaza, but immediately sent to the side there. Red Ninja 11 got a very crispy combo there to put himself in an early lead.
Yeah, so he's doing a really good job now, able to adapt to this Wu-Shang after kind of taken by surprise, I think, a little bit by there with that pick. Not something that he necessarily expected from his opponent, I think.
Yes, indeed. I mean, that's why it stays to be flexible and to be able to adapt, like you mentioned earlier, as you kind of get more and more. When you get more familiar with what your opponent's playing, you just got to adapt and play against that player and end up on top.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing that, you know, he's able to kind of use his familiarity with the Diamond Head there to be able to adapt that way, because it's really kind of a spot there, and now he's able to respond here, and that familiarity allows him to even it up at 1 map apiece.
Yeah, hit a couple of big money side six there, able to close out stocks pretty early, especially on small Brawlhalla next to those blast zones there, and this puts Zaza in the hot seat for sure.
Yeah, and I think that both of them are just kind of very comfortable with themselves here, so they're just going to, you know, run it back one more time, and I think it's just going to be one of those things where, you know, they've both taken a map now, so now it's just a matter of like, all right, this is kind of like that rubber match.
3,
no,
2,
we might see a difference here, actually. I think that's the Artemis.
No, Zaza's on the Magyar here. Going to be Hammer and Great Sword, which is something we haven't seen at all in the entirety of the tournament here. Not even the round robin phase.
A little bit slower there, but a lot more power coming out from that.
Yeah, Magyar at times has been considered one of the least popular legends. Not a high pick rate by any means, but he has some intriguing and very strong kill power moves. So I'm very interested to see Zasiv's Magyar here.
Yeah, and this is certainly a bold pick as well. Again, this is down in the lower brackets here, so if he loses another map here, he's going to be on his last map of the tournament here. So going with that high kill potential, but ultimately a little bit slower moves here. It is a bold strategy, but one that paid off for the first stock.
Yeah, a nice ground pound there from Zaziv. I mean, this great sword, it hits like a truck. So you really got to avoid those hits, or you're going to be sending yourself to the blast zone a lot earlier than you expect. All right, a nice sig there to close out the stock. Red Ninja 11 keeping in it.
Yeah, so now it's a very interesting matchup. He's got to wait for that battle, because it does feel like he doesn't really have as much kill potential without a weapon in hand there. And I think that's one of those drawbacks, those trade-offs there.
So far, we got a lot of great swings there. Both players are kind of playing it a little bit more patient here, not as in each other's face, especially because this new Magyar pick causes Zaziv to be a little bit more reserved about where he swings, because he could get whiff punished a lot easier with these big, slow, great sword swings.
Yeah, and you see right now, just able to mete out some damage when he finally gets the hits in there, and you see it really messes up Red Ninja 11, but you do see that he gets hit a lot more often here, but he's got that durability to kind of like body and tank some of those hits now.
Yes, indeed. And there goes the weapon toss, potentially taking the stock there. A nice there. Zaziv finds the early stock there, but he is in the red percent, so he's going to have to watch out and not get hit by any of these stray haymakers just like that.
So out he goes, and now with that durability, he does have an opportunity here, but he's going to have to wait for a weapon to spawn here. Does get that greatsword, which he's had a lot of success against this Diamond Head in this matchup here, but now it's carte blanche. It all comes down to one final stock, both of them at similar power levels and damage levels, but certainly they got to be respecting that greatsword.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't put respect on the greatsword, you'll find yourself on the front end of it. You see those massive strikes that can come out from it. But, you know, Red Ninja's using the Katars, you know, one of the weapons that has already earned respect on its name for its fast, quick options and big, long strings. Man. Oh, sweeps right in. Zaziv finds a three-piece there into the down strong, unarmed, sliding off the stage with that one.
Wow, what a powerful finisher there. Able just to the weapon toss just to get into that side stick there. Boom. And now we have ourselves a match point and an elimination point now where Red Ninja 11, does he make a change? Does he go off that Diamond Head?
It's possible, but I mean, how he's been playing here, he's just been iterating and trying to get better and better by staying on that one character. I feel like he's going to just make some adjustments in terms of his play style rather than his character, but it's really all up to what's going on in his head.
Yeah, that's where those mind games kind of play in there. It's like, hey, you know, you got that one character that you're very comfortable with, but all of a sudden now you've lost 2 maps in a row with that character. How do you, adapt? How do you make those changes?
Yeah, and it's been to 2 different characters. Once the Wound Shank and now the Magyar. But we're just running it right back down mid here at Small Brawlhaven, where these games will go crazy.
Yeah, and Zaziv there, he had so much success. How does he counter that heavy hitting style? Does he go with the grapple? He's sticking with an early grapple here. He's not, do you think that's going to make a difference versus the Katars?
I mean, just kind of started out on the gauntlets there, but not the main weapon by any means. Red Ninja, as soon as possible, picks up these Katars and starts looking for the KO here.
So Katars against greatsword, speed against power. It is a diametrically opposed as far as stylistically, I guess, but gets the first stock pretty easily there.
Yeah, I mean, and coast to coast, by the way, with that side sig. A nice stock to put himself in the early lead here for Red Ninja 11.
And good weapon guard does able to get that hammer here, but took a lot of damage to get there. And now he's going to try to knock him out. So much damage came out in just so little time. Like the way he's able to quickly change the shape of the battlefield with these heavy attacks.
Yeah, when you give up that speed, those attacks start doing a lot of damage. Magyar, very heavy hitting legend. As you see, that Sair is actually just enough to take it.
And this Magyar is not a champion we've seen at all throughout this tournament, and so this wild card pick here, I think just saving that in the back pocket, really waiting for these dire moments where he knew that tournament life was on the line here. This one could be a masterclass in terms of gamesmanship from Zaziv.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he just kind of utilized two legends that really came out of left field. And I'm interested to see if he's able to kind of close it out with the Magyar, but just kind of continually, rapidly sending those SIGs out at ledge. Not much Magyar can do, as he can't really maneuver around it with the low speed.
And now he's kind of waiting for his opportunity to find those holes. Just seemed like he had a little bit more success with the hammer, but he prefers that great sword here. But so we'll have to see if he decides to switch back over to the great sword once that next weapon spawns here as we get off the stage here. A little edge guarding now. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. He's in a lot of spot of bother here. He has to get that stock quickly because he's taking a lot of damage on his final stock.
Yep, and there goes the recovery there, since it's sky high, but not going to take the KO yet. Yeah, we're trying to get the mix here, you know, canceling those 1, 2, and then there goes a SIG, but it's not enough to kill as it's going cross stage. And the down strong, not enough, even with the gravity cancel. And there goes the side air into recovery. These gauntlets have actually been putting in work for Red Ninja 11, which, you know, we haven't seen him much, as his main weapon is those guitars.
Nice combo there, able to really get his opponent down into the red. Potential for big damage incoming, and like I said, those gauntlets doing so much work here. This might be this move here. Could he finish it off right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Zaziv's in a position he does not want to be in, holding this hammer, which was not really what he was getting his worth off of, but a nice finish there as Red Ninja 11 brings us to Game 5.
Game 5, a best of 1. Now, we've wiped the slate clean. We've done everything getting to here, man. What an incredible back and forth. And again, Red Ninja 11 not changing his style. He says, no. You adapt to me. Like, I dare you to change again, because he is not moving off that diamond head. He's saying, I will live or die by the diamond.
Oh, yeah, indeed. And this diamond seems to be unbreakable, as, you know, lost the game, was not shaken, was able to bring it back, and then was shaken up again by another counter pick. And we're here on Game 5 on another new character for Zaziv.
Yeah, so could Red Ninja 11 be the diamond head in the rough?
Yeah, potentially, but on the Hugin here for Zaziv, this character packs the bow and the scythe, two very strong weapons in today's metagame. So with utilizing a nice pair of SIGs, very musically inclined for sure. So I'm very excited to kind of see how this one will interact with Red Ninja 11.
Yeah, it's a really fun pick there, and really one that lends itself to strong gameplay. And obviously, Game 5, you want to bring out, you know, some of the best. So sometimes the best is you go with the most your strongest weapon choices there, and sometimes the best is you go with your favorite character. So really, just it's two different theories of going with what is strongest battle, you know?
Yes, indeed. And I mean, you know, Zaziv, he's for sure, you know, a master on the side, which is crazy that this is the first time we're seeing him on side today at all in the finals.
He did a lot of damage with the scythe yesterday. You know, he was really, you know, in control of a lot of matches with that scythe. Obviously using that with the Artemis, but today, this is the first time we've seen it, and he's in spot of bother, takes the first stock, is Diamond Head.
Yeah, nice ground pound there. And just Zaziv didn't have the resources to kind of come back. A tough stock to lose at the immediate, but if you're able to grab the KO here, you won't be in too much of dire straits.
Zaziv now should take this stock, and does with the Munin.
Yeah, I love that for Zaziv here, able to even back up the stocks. We're at 2s.
Red Ninja on the gauntlets against the bow there. Get up close or smack him from far away there. It's kind of like, you know, who kind of wins that edge there. It's so different.
Yeah, I mean, the bow is just such a hard weapon to play against, as it's very great at juggling and with punishing, kind of lending itself to more of a defensive play style, waiting for you to swing. And we're seeing that here from Zaziv here.
And you see him getting aggressive on Red Ninja 11's side. They're having to go with those downward airs, trying to find something to try to dive bomb his opponents and find that high ground. And it's really hard to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi when you're facing against another Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Sliding and shimmying here. There goes the opening hit there from Red Ninja 11. Zasif on the wall. There goes the down sig, potentially closing out a stock here, but Zasif a very crafty recovery.
Yeah. Zasif finding something with that Munin now. Getting in some work, but he's in spot. Bottle lost his weapon as well, and now he has to go unarmed, and he's gonna lose that stock down to his final life of the tournament.
Yes, one of these two players get eliminated here. Zasif a lot closer to his tournament stock here. This could be it. He has to clutch up and find something that he hasn't found in these earlier games.
You gotta wonder what's going on through their heads right now. Traveling all the way from coast to coast, trying to find their way here. As Red Ninja 11 come from the East Coast, Zasif from the West Coast there.
Yeah, they are really scrapping here. There goes the side light, but not quite finding a follow-up there. Zasif just really can't find the stock, but there goes the sig to send him sky high. Red Ninja 11 now sitting on his tournament stock potentially.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Red Ninja 11. He likes to swing with a lot of power. He is also a competitive bowler. So can he bowl over Zasif to move on in this lower bracket and keep his tournament hopes alive here? He's currently being knocked back and forth here with Zasif having the advantage, but now he's on his favorite guitars, and this could change the shape of the battlefield.
Yeah, for sure. And Zasif, I mean, he's on the side switch. I would for sure say he's a savant with the weapon, but it is not coming up here. He's not getting those usual strings, and just as I say that, he starts to rack it up, but a nice break from Red Ninja 11 there. There goes the sig, but not enough to KO, but there's no resources. That's it.
And game, set, match, Red Ninja 11 moves on. The Purdue College commit is moving on in the lower bracket, staying alive here as that steam train keeps on moving. That Boilermaker there is going to move on into the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean, a very big performance from Red Ninja 11, able to clutch out the Game 5 and move himself on. I mean, he's going to have a tough bout with Major if he wants to make it to Grand Finals.
Potentially Major, or if Major's able to move on in the upper bracket there against Printer. That's not a foregone conclusion there, folks. Not a foregone conclusion. Major can be in his bag on a day, and we haven't seen him at his full potential just yet, but we don't know. But honestly, like being able to take out the former Winter Major final winner there, that is a huge feather in his cap there. That is you saw the look of relief on his face there on stage.
Yes, indeed. It was a big sigh of relief, able to punch his ticket into a guaranteed third. I mean, Red Ninja 11, he performed very well this tournament in this bracket. I mean, for sure was a dark horse, as a lot of the other players had pretty high expectations on his shoulders, and Red Ninja just came in to shatter it.
That was third place finals there, so so he does get the third place. So we are
Guaranteed,
moving on to grand finals there. We will see who comes out on top, if it will be Major or if it will be Printer there. And so that's kind of that matchup where everyone's kind of salivating at a little bit there.
Yeah, the winners finals for sure will be quite the barn burner, as our two strongest competitors, Major, who's only dropped one set so far, versus Printer, aka RDPATRIX, who's dropped 0 sets so far. It just had to one-up him in that scenario.
He has lost a map there, so there is the potential to come back and turn one map into several maps there, and even the entire series, but we are not quite ready for that. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, folks, that grand finals on deck.
But legacy-wise, I want to leave a team that was a threat, a nightmare for people to play against.
You can't throw it off when you get your head lopped off by the chalk, man.
Keep going.
Shield wouldn't even fully recharge. They're still going to try and find this out and win.
Push out. Nicely done. The double kill is a perfect lands first. Double there for Chonk Man.
My name is Wiley Hall, or you may know me as the Chonk Man. What got me into gaming was just like the aspects of games, like single player games having that story aspect, and multiplayer games having the teammates aspect where you have to comply with each other and able to perform a certain task or beat a certain opponent. So vocal is, I'm loud and I'm crazy at sometimes, but like certain moments where we've had where you say Generation Esports is your parent company. They did a while back, I think last December, they did a USMC tournament for Halo. We were in that actually, and we placed first. And I remember after that, I was jumping up and down, screaming, like we were all in our little voice call. We were all having some time. I push my teammates every day. I'm asking if they're able to play. If they're able to play that night, I'm reminding them to bring their controller, their keyboard, their mouse to play the next day at school. Our team has been the same for the 3 seasons. Me, Susage, the Artifact Kid, and Darker User. Us 4 have been there since the beginning. Over time, I feel like our effectiveness as a team and our friendship has grown the most. After I graduate, a trophy of us winning and pictures of us winning, that'd be the greatest thing I'd want to leave. I want to leave that even if you don't have the greatest stuff, you can still win nationally. And I think if I win MVP, it also shows that even a kid out of rural Florida can win an award. I feel like that's what it would mean to me.
Hello and welcome back, folks. High school came in now. Was that That's not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think I play a pretty vital part in the winning culture that we have here at Hebron.
You just won an enormous 9-3 comeback. Hebron on the comeback. Not giving them a chance. Exit rhythm. They shut it down.
I'm Akshay Kondala. I'm a junior, and what got me into gaming is that ever since I was young, my family, friends, and my cousins, we used to play a good amount of CSGO and some Overwatch too. And then from there, it was just like gaming in my free time until like one day I just learned about the game Valorant. And then from then on, it's just history. When I finally learned about Valorant, it was like the first game that I was naturally good at from the start. I organized the scrims, and as president of the club, I try my hardest to like get our word out there, and then I try and get as many people involved as possible. And I think it's great that like I'm learning all these skills now, because it's definitely going to come in handy in the future. So like our Valorant team going all the way and like winning nationals and all that in our first year of creation, like set up a lot of interest revolving around like the club at our school. It's like an honor to be able to pioneer that for my school and my districts. So obviously it would be nice to be back-to-back national champions. So that's going to be one of our biggest goals going forward. Being the most valuable player just shows how much like to our district and to our community, how much esports can actually like impact like a person's life and stuff. Like winning the most valuable player award will like show to my parents and like my family, my friends, that like esports is a real extracurricular that can be dominated by a certain school. And honestly, I just really appreciate it, because it's been a lot of hard work that my team has been putting in, and I think that my MVP also reflects like as my team's MVP.
My name is Delina Hun. I am in 11th grade. I like started gaming like when I was like a kid, because I had an iPad, and then I really didn't like start like into esports until like earlier this year. I started playing Valorant in the beginning of the year when I like didn't have an all-girls team. No one like stepped up to like, you know, be a captain or like an officer for like esports. I decided to like, you know, try it out. We went to this tournament in December, and I saw like an all-girls team there. I was like, I should make one for like our school, because like, you know, it would be fun. Like after school, since we have like practice and things, we would like, you know, sit around, eat, get food, you know, talk about our lives and things. I think it's like my experience has been like great. I think esports like is a good place to like find friends. Even though like we had like some troubles going on, we like overcame, you know, problems to like get better. I think it's important because like barely any girls who like, you know, that play games and things, and like if we like keep winning, then it will show like shine light, and then to let like all the girls that are scared to like come out and to like join esports have less worries about, you know, people like talking bad or something, or like thinking they're weird for like being in esports. I want to create a legacy where like girls are welcome to come in and like play games with other people. I've overcome like a lot of obstacles, you know, being a captain. It would mean a lot to like at least like have an award to like show like how like much like I overcame and things, I think.
My name is Matthew Biandara. I didn't initially go to Canyon. I transferred because of esports. I wanted to play esports. And so it was this new thing that I was really excited about. And I think it was something that made me feel like I could be part of a group and a community again. It was a way to compete, it was a way to meet new people, and it was a way to just like have fun doing something that I love. My goal going in was I want to create a bond and a team that plays well together, that has fun together, regardless of how good individually any of us are, because ultimately, none of that will matter if the team itself can't function. It was a lot of like responsibility because the esports program grew so much, which was fantastic. The captain has to be the one, you know, scheduling practices, making sure people show up on time, making sure the team is on the same page. It was a lot of responsibility. It was a lot of time management. It was a lot of, you know, commitment. I grew a lot by being in esports and by having the role of captain. My role was just get them to be as good as they can be and get this team to just have as much fun and enjoyment as possible. Let's be honest, I didn't win any trophies. I didn't win any tournaments. I didn't, you know, we just played to have fun. We just played to be a team. So I never really had any of the glory of that, you know, and I will say being on the teams, playing, competing was more than enough for me. But to win this award, I think would for sure solidify it in my mind that, you know, I was able to make an impact. I was able to, you know, build something bigger than myself, which is ultimately what I want to do.
Signature. The issue with that though is it throws in too much. It can be readable by the and Devil doesn't have a weapon anymore. Oh! Really? What? That's what I'm talking about here. But oh, Dilly with the signature knockout. That man clutch.
Koi is known to flash around.
My name is Braden Shaw, and I'm a student at...
And welcome back, folks, to HSEL Nationals 2023 right here in glorious, beautiful Kansas City, Missouri. JT Displays alongside Big M here, folks. And let me tell you, it is now time for our Brawlhalla main event, the grand finals of best of 7 between RDPATRIX, also known as Printer, aka so many other different things, versus Major.
Yeah, these two have been the juggernauts of the tournament. Friday, both players sweeping every other player in their, well, beating every other player in their pool, and just showing dominance. Now these two finally get to face off once again. Obviously, Perner came out on top on Friday, but this could be a different story here. This best of 7 will give our players ample amount of time to kind of iterate and adapt on each other's play styles. I'm very excited to see these two go at it here tonight.
Yeah, certainly Printer had the card of everybody there yesterday, but this is a new day. Major has been a very, very strong competitor throughout there. He was the strongest one. Really looked like it could have gone either which way when these two faced off against each other yesterday.
Yes, and these two, they for sure have very rivaling play styles here. You know, we got Printer, our RDPATRIX. They have a very good, like, walling out play style where they're waiting, they're baiting and punishing. A very popular way to kind of play these 1v1 fighting games where you wait for your opponent to kind of commit or show their hand, and then you hit them with the hardest punish that you have possible. And we saw that time and time again from Printer.
Yeah, meanwhile, with Major there, you know, he's been one that has been really able to adapt. That's been his calling card, is adaptability there. Every single player that he's played against there has been able to find counter picks, and he just has that wide ranging pool there. He's just so good at being able to find something to find some sort of advantage against his opponents.
Yeah, and you see that accentuated by just the amount of the cast that he can play very comfortably. We've seen tons of characters from Major, probably the most in the character pool. Like here, he's on the Rayman, which is a character we have not seen at all throughout the HSEL finals here. So let's have it. We're on Demon Island, starting game 1 of Grand Finals. Let's go.
Let's go indeed, Rayman. This is a fun pick here against the lance-wielding Black Knight. As always, the Black Knight of the tournament has been RDPATRIX because he has kind of been that antagonist, that thorn in the side of all of his opponents there, and he's just been so dominant when he's been on his game.
Yeah, it's very interesting here. So, Major picking this character, I have a theory. So Major's very good on the axe, so of course he's going to utilize the Rayman axe. But Addix, he's been struggling against gauntlets throughout this finals day here today. So maybe with gauntlets being the secondary weapon on Rayman, it seemed like the obvious pick. But so far, Addix out to a clean start.
Yeah, able to quickly take the first stock there, and now still on that third stock. But he does have a little bit of danger right now as that Rayman of Major trying to throw some haymakers and get an advantage here to neutralize that advantage.
Yes, indeed. Oh, and Rayman, you know, he has a decent sick lineup. Not the strongest power, so just going to finish it off there with the ground pound. A nice send-off there for Major. Going to pick back up the gauntlets. Like I said, I feel like that's like the pain point or maybe the potential weakness that Paddock has, at least today.
I was never a big Rayman player as a kid there, but I know my sister used to play it a lot. They never played old school Rayman?
I've played a couple of Rayman games. One that I remember vividly, this is not old school, but Rayman Legends was a big hit, so.
Yeah, however, a big hit is coming in from RDPATRIX, and he's already having to do the alley-oop to get around to the other side of the stage, able to get back, but that was a scary moment there. Could have quickly taken game 1.
Yeah, and so far, it is looking all Paddock's. I mean, the Printer is working in good order as he is stayed in the stock lead ever since he took that first one.
Yeah, and clearly he's been printing receipts of his opponents there and finding ways to audit them for massive damage every single game, and he's dealing it right now, dealing with it currently as Rayman has a slight advantage over him. But again, it's so tough to tell who really can come out on top between these two players.
Yeah, and you see Major here trying to find the KO opportunity, but you know, Addix is just so ironclad, not going to give it up super easily as that wall just continues to stay strong.
Major now, there's an edge guard here against, again, that Demon Island so strong there for Paddock, and that seems to be his stage of choice here. And I think that's going to be something that they need to play into as Paddock takes game number 1 here on Demon Island.
Yeah, that was very strong game 1. I mean, Major just ended up not being able to find the stock there, and that 2-stock lead turned into a victory. A tough showing for game 1 for Major, but I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, he's great at adapting. I wouldn't I wouldn't be shocked if we see him come back stronger here in game 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I do love seeing his adaptability there. But again, we're sticking on that same map there. I'd be curious to know to think if Major might try to maybe use this as one of his map bans moving forward here. If he does drop this second map to PATRIX. Again, we've seen time and time again. PATRIX loves this map here, and I think that's something. If we can just take something away from him, that might be a way to gain some sort of advantage there. Like recognizing, hey, you're good on this map here. It's not being scared of that. It's just recognizing your opponent has such a clear favoritism for this map here.
Sure here, and so far they're going right back at it tit for tat. But that ground pound starts up an offense that Major could capitalize on here. But this is the second ground pound that could have been the stock sealer. And wow, with resources expended, Major just whiffs.
Huge whiff there, but both of them have dealt a lot of damage to each other. Now that is a big hit there with the spear. Can he finish him off there? No. Went for the downward special, but nothing there. Looking for an opportunity, maybe. Major, what a hit with the axe.
Yeah, the recovery there, but that Demon Island coming into play as it has a very high ceiling, but able to get the side air. That's a good way to close out stocks. That axe, the tried true bread and butter, the money maker for Major.
Yeah, Major's really shown some favoritism towards that axe throughout this tournament here, and he's the only player to do so. And clearly we see why he's so good with there. It's a favorite of his.
Yep, and the side air, there goes that move. It's so strong, very impressive. PATRIX will take that to the bank as we get to 2 stocks here.
They're able to get that axe back here, so now an opportunity where they're kind of both on their favorite weapons here, so have an advantage kind of like neutralizing.
Yeah, all these axe hits are very chunky, and what a slam there from Major.
Man, that was fantastic play there. Able to take advantage of the slight miscue there by RDPATRIX and able to take the stock. Now, Major really showing a lot of strength there and has probably the largest advantage that he's had so far. Can he keep capitalizing there? That's the biggest question. Oh my God, he's almost there. Managed to recover though, but man, what a hit by Major.
Yeah, I'm loving how he's positioning himself. He's literally playing on the inside of PATRIX, forcing him to choose an option, being like, you gotta swing because I'm in your threat zone, and my threat zone is right on top of you.
Victory.
And there it is.
Player 2 wins.
What a side air to send us to game 2.
Absolutely incredible there, and again, didn't need to worry about changing off that map there because he's saying, hey, I see your advantage, and I'm going to take it from you. And he just absolutely took it to him there. That was an incredible display by Major, and really the first time we've really seen PATRIX look that vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, and I wanted to talk about it more about the positioning of Major. It's the main reason why PATRIX was so shook. He was playing literally on top of him almost the entirety of that game, and it forced PATRIX, who's usually like very calm and deliberates on his options. It forced him to pick an option, and Major just chose right every single time.
Yeah, Major here finding a tactical advantage, potentially maybe looked at all that game film from yesterday and was able to deduce that this Rayman pick might be the move to force PATRIX out of his comfort zone, though right now he is getting taken to Pound Town there and got punished with that early stock.
Yeah, I love the spear strings there, able to send Major over there to the side blast zone without much recourse.
See here, just continues to juggle his opponent now. PATRIX here, clearly, I think he took that last game personally.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting to amp up. You're seeing the APM is increasing. No more hesitation. He's like, I'm bringing the fight to you if you're going to bring it to me.
Yeah, it's like you just need to get smacked in the mouth a little bit there, and he said, you think you can hurt me? Watch, and it just kind of takes that to the next. It's a little bit that Goku maneuver in there,
Yeah, and nothing accentuates that more when freaking PATRIX was out of options there, and he just went right at Major and swung at him and was able to recover.
Now Major, what a hit there to knock out that stock. And now we're down to 2 stocks apiece, and Major back on the axe.
Yeah, I love that down sig there. It's long-lasting as Rayman throws multiple of those, but there goes the N6 sending him sky high.
Like Barry Bonds smacking a baseball into the San Francisco Bay. PATRIX able to take care of that stock, and now that Rayman looking very vulnerable.
Yes, indeed. The only major league we're seeing is the one where we're sending you sky high and out of the park. All right. So we're back into the neutral here. swapping over to the Lance once again. I mean, Patrix was getting a lot of mileage off of that spear, but he knows when to switch it up as we get a 1, a 2, maybe even 3-6, but not going to connect with that next one. He's starting to feel it, though.
Yeah, and he's able to get on the inside of Major now. Major in a spot of bother. He's in the red on his last stock here. This could spell curtains for game number 3, as he just needs to find one good hit, and Major will be sent to the outside.
All right, swinging, trying to stay in that blind spot of Patrix is here, and a nice whiff punish. That side sig a little bit errant, and Major going to punish that one heavily. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen, last stock, but Major in the deep red, so even a Sair from that Rocket Lance will take it.
Yeah, has to play a perfect game, and he can't, and that is going to be game number 3, taken by RDPATRIX there, the printer. Still printing receipts here. Now a 2-game-to-1 advantage as we head into game number 4.
Yeah, this is exactly what you like to see, folks. These two Titans going back and forth, and you see the iterations already starting to stack on top of each other as Major came in that to game 2, playing super close, and then game 3, Patrix was like, I'm swinging at you. If you're going to stay this close, I'll show you the type of brawling I can do.
Yeah, it was a really impressive display there by Patrix, and just it felt like he was like, oh, now I'm angry. You know, he went a little, he kind of hulked out there a little bit there at the beginning, really just tossing Major left, right, and center around the stage. And now we are going to get a stage change here with that single platform above there. We should see a difference, but again, sticking with that Rayman, he likes his matchup against this Dark Knight.
Yeah, and I agree with it. I mean, once again, I feel like the gauntlets and the axe is the perfect combination for Major here, as he's very comfortable on the axe, and the gauntlets seem to be the pain point for Patrix. But here on this map, we got that single platform up there, a loose platform there, so it will change positions every now and again as we go throughout the match. But so far, not much interaction with it, as Patrix is just sending Major coast to coast.
Oh, able to predict that. Great spot there by Major. Able to start dishing out some punishment of his own after taking so much punishment by that Black Knight of Patrix. Now Major on the offensive. You see him deep dodging and weaving here, trying to dodge him like a wrench.
Yes, indeed, and the wrench, not the tool for every occasion, as Major here is just trying to force it down mid with this axe, but immediately gets reversal. But that high ceiling is going to save him, but not once, but twice. The recovery of the unarmed Patrix sends Major to his second stop.
Yeah, Patrix doing really well, taking these early stocks here. Major now, he has an opportunity to possibly neutralize things, but he's taking a lot of damage to try to get that first stock.
Yes, but that, he even waited for the dodge there, but Major just a hair too late on that recovery. Not going to find the stock here, but gets another side air and just missing the confirm here. It is not quite true. There's enough of a dodge window, but there goes the side sig. Major finds himself even to that.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage there. I'm not sure if that's what he wanted to do there. He just, like you said, he missed it just by a fraction of a second there. These little micro movements there can be the difference between getting out cleanly and taking half stock.
Yeah, and uncharacteristic miss from Patrix there. Another whiffed side sig, and Major finds that opening to tack on some damage.
Major gets turned around there and gets punished for it here. Now back onto the spear is Patrix. Patrix now trying to get something here, but here comes Major with that axe, and he's dealing some damage, but he's getting taken a lot of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta watch out. When you are below the spear, that recovery is coming, and it has a very lateral hitbox that can send you sky high. But luckily, Major survives that one, but there goes the downlight Sair. Try to true a spear, no more, as Major is on his last stop.
Major needing to come in like a one-winged angel, just trying to defeat his opponent here with a little bit of more moxie.
Yeah, I too think of Sephiroth every time I hear those that chorus come in, especially on this stage. But alas, there seems to be no memory here for Major, as he's on this last stock and he's not found the hit that he needs to kind of put this to one stock apiece.
This Rayman in a spot of bother here, losing a lot of health here. Still hasn't taken that second stock. Finally gets it with a dunk.
Yeah, I love that move from Major. It is so emphatic, and he can kind of ride that momentum to hopefully put this game a lot closer than what it was looking at previously.
Yeah, look at Patrix now biding his time, waiting for his opportunities, waiting for the window, and that's where he found it. And that is going to be game 4.
Yeah, big blast to send us to game 5 and
Tournament point.
Tournament point, yeah. I mean, and PATRIX actually being the first to win 2 games in a row here. This is the first time we see that they're not going back and forth. This puts Major in a very peculiar situation.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of adaptation here, but like, how can you adapt against an unstoppable force?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tall order for sure, but I mean, Major has the gumption. He has the tools to be able to do it. He made it this far for a reason. I can see him pulling it out, but PATRIX for sure the favorite, and he's really showing it right now with the type of dominance he showed in that game.
And sometimes you kind of have to change up your style. It is kind of like a false count anywhere style match there, so you really have to change it up to the Brawlhalla, his favorite champion there, and so you will see what will happen with that.
Yeah, he decided to drop the gauntlets and said, we're bringing guns. And I love that from him. Major very good on these blasters. We saw it a little bit on Friday. He's very technically sound with these things, doing all the movement text to push forward his advantage as much as possible.
However, that barrage is very similar to the Lucian that we saw a lot from yesterday, and we saw that PATRIX had no problem taking care of Lucian with the blasters. So I think this is going to be something that, you know, Major a lot better with the blasters than we saw from I think Bean Super was, but you know, this is going to be something that you know, is an interesting, different dynamic here where he has a little bit more range to kind of keep PATRIX at bay.
Yeah, and what's always going to be the wild card, the trump card that Major always has is going to be that axe. But we see the blaster so far, he's getting a lot of damage and racking it up. And PATRIX just striking back though, not going to let too much damage go unanswered.
Yeah, loses the weapons there. Trying to stall that out, but he gets his first stock taken here. This is tournament point, folks, for the championship.
Yes, indeed. These HSEL Nationals have been intense and tight, but the Brawlhalla Finals seems to be all but a foregone conclusion, but the reversal from Major.
Absolutely brutal.
Yes, what an insane sig to pull out in that scenario. And whoa, the weapon toss. You think that you have the advantage there, and Major just comes right back down with a striking offense.
Yeah, that was an incredible display to reverse. It looked like he was about to be knocked out for a second stock there, but able to turn the tables on him there. And now they are both very low and in a lot of danger, both of them.
Yeah, and here on Demon Island, they are afforded a little bit more. Usually that killing blow will take a little bit more effort as the larger blast zones will assist in that. But, man, you are stuck at this ledge. PATRIX in a bad scenario here, gonna get caught there by the side air, but finds his trusty lance, which will be able to strike him out of any bad situation.
Yeah, and he's able to just dodge away Major that time, but he's so wary of the damage that comes off from that Lancer. He has to respect the damage, and he still stays up. Somehow keeps his stock alive. Now it will be taken. Last stock remaining for Major.
Yeah, the spinneroonie there lasted just long enough to take out Major stock. He just landed in the wrong time, but there goes the scoops. Hagen-Dazs.
Now we're 1 of 1 here. It comes down to this.
They are facing each other down, but there goes the downline from the blasters. That can lead to a lot of damage, especially when you have those movement techs to kind of just soar in the sky with all that velocity.
Major getting some good licks in, but being responded to some from PATRIX as well. Both these competitors here just trading these blows, waiting for an opening. As Major's able to keep his opponent at bay and keep him at arm's length right now. Will he switch over to the axe with that weapon? No! We go to game 5!
And the shots heard around the world that Dare sends us to another game. Major stays in it once more as we have this best of 7 is really starting to heat up.
3-2 now, so we go to game 6, excuse me. So that was game 5. Game 6 here. Major still, it's win or go home type thing for him. You know, he's got a little bit more on the opponent's side there. He's got 2 games to kind of play with now, but now he has to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, wow, we got a character switch from PATRIX here. We have not seen the Macho Man Randy Savage is on our screen with the Lance. I'm surprised that we got a character switch from PATRIX.
Well, and it kind of speaks, you know, to to level of play here from Major. You know, you got to respect the hustle, respect the drip, and respect the blasters.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, there goes the Sair. And, oh, my goodness, the axe immediately comes out, and that sends you down straight with the axe down there.
Yeah, Macho Man with a lance and an axe. Incredible stuff here. Able to really break that combo. So it's going to be axe on axe type stuff. That powerful lance, though, it's something that, you know, everybody respects. And let me tell you, brother, it's going to be a brutal matchup right here.
Oh, man, and those Sair combos are insane on the lance. The rocket-powered lance is so good at just chaining your opponent off stage. Oh, but axe v axe here. You're going to go to blows with the axe, man, not in Major's house.
Barraza says, can you smell what Major is cooking? As he's able to take him down to his second stock here, but now he's on a dangerous high-level red two-stock himself, so he's got to be careful here because this is down to his last one. Again, he has to win out to win this trophy.
Yes, indeed, and here we have it. They're staring each other down. These blasters have been putting in major work for Major, pun intended, but trading dares there. But one is going to end up on top as that red percent means that you're going to get sent sky high.
That's stock 1, 2. He's got the 2 count. Can he get the full pin? As he still has 2 stocks to deal with here. Patrix getting past Major right now, but Major able to dish out some damage with that axe. He's got to be careful here because he has to play a near perfect game moving forward.
Oh, and what a great axe swing. The recovery sends us to the last stock, and this is a tense moment. 1 stock apiece on each player. Major has a lot more riding on this one.
For the championship here, who will rise to be the cream of the crop?
Yes, indeed. This is exactly what we would like to see. On Demon Island, these 2 players, no platforms to fall back on. It's just going to be scrapping.
Now on to that favored rocket lance there. That's why that's his entire player pool. It seems like does it have a rocket lance? Cool. I'm gonna mean it.
Yep.
Oh, but you see the damage now coming in off those blasters. Major able to retake some of that advantage from Patrix, but Patrix with a bevy of tools.
Oh wow! All those 6 are missing, and we see them launching it. Yo, and the recovery sends us home, and oh my goodness, there goes RDPATRIX winning out.
With the Macho Man to retain the championship and new HSEL Nationals champion. We got RDPATRIX on that Macho Man.
Yes, and he went flawless, ladies and gentlemen. No sets dropped. I mean, in very strong fashion, especially considering we had the Friday round robin pools. No sets dropped there, and here in the single elim finals, he's going to show his dominance once again in that best of 7.
And styling it, what better way to go out, right? On his favorite stage with his favorite weapon of choice there. I mean, honestly, this played into his hands so perfectly, and in his hands will also go that trophy.
Yes, big ups to RDPATRIX. He played wonderfully. I mean, but on the other end, Major most definitely put up a great fight. We had a banging grand finals, quite the barn burner. Adaption, iterations going back and forth. I really loved it all.
And that will conclude our Brawlhalla portion of our championship Saturday. But do not go anywhere, folks, because starting at 1 p.m., we got Rocket League right here on this channel. You do not want to miss that. I won't be missing it for sure. Stick around.